Well, good afternoon, friends. It is time for your favorite annual look inside Leigh Brown's suitcase, bedroom, and personal life as we talk about how to pack for the big giant annual convention of realtors known as NXT or NAR NXT, which is happening in Anaheim, California. Well, hang on, week after next? Week after next. I don't know what day it is because, of course. So what I want you to know is, first of all, if you have not yet signed up for the convention because you weren't sure if you wanted to go, you totally should, and you can save $100. You know how? Use the code SAVE100, and if you paid more than that, then oh well. So what you should do is tell any realtors who are thinking about going because they want to go to Disneyland and write it off. I mean, go to the realtor convention and write it off. Save 100, save them $100, so you can still go. Now I'm going to give you some insider tips on how to survive convention, how to have the most fun ever, and prepare yourselves. If you've been 1,000 times, I promise you there's a way to enjoy the conference more. And if you've never been before, hey, what's up? All of us were first timers at one time, and we got to this big giant convention, didn't know anybody or anything, didn't know where to go or what classes to attend, what will be worth your time. Friends, Leigh Brown is here for you. So I'm going to also pipe in some of the schedule things. You can go there on your laptop, or most importantly, get the app, and you'll look that up. Actually, if you go to narnxt.realtor, so somebody type that into the comments, narnxt.realtor, you can download the app from there, but you can also see the schedule. And what's important about that is that if a room changes, because that happens, the app will update. So make sure that you're updating your app, and you can save a schedule, which is super duper important because you're realtors, and I love you. You'll forget things. So where we're going to start is this, and I'm going to show y'all the secret to getting everything in your bag towards the end because, frankly, my clothes are buried under all of my other tricks and things here for you. So I want you to know that if you're trying to go carry on, I can help. I can't solve it, especially if you have a lot of shoes, ladies or gentlemen, but I'll check a big bag. This is the one time I check a bag. So first of all, one of my good realtor girlfriends is turning 50 at the convention, and I'm really proud of myself. Just going to point out that I already bought her present, which I never do because I'm not good at gift giving. That's not one of my 7 love languages. So if you have a friend having a birthday at the convention, you should get them a present now and put it in your bag so that you're not reduced to buying it in the hotel gift shop where we'll all know about it. And if you need to know who's turning 50 at the convention, then go ahead and ask, because I'll tell you, because it's her birthday month, and I may as well tell y'all everything I know. You also want to make sure that in your bag are some extra plastic bags for your smelly laundry, because you can't rely on the hotel having it in the closet, although I steal these from hotels wherever I go, although it's not really stealing. To be fair, I paid for the hotel room, so I should get to keep all of the bags and the toiletries, because that's sustainable. We're all about sustainability in realtor world. That's reduce, reuse, recycle. So make sure you got plastic bags in your bag. Now, I'm also going to tell you that you need to have food in your bag. I always have protein bars in mine because, frankly, it's quick, it's easy, and it's easy to digest if your stomach is rumbling or upset. But if you get the chocolate ones like I do, make sure you have a friend that can tell you when you get chocolate stuck in your teeth, because apparently some of y'all are not my friends. You have let me walk around with chocolate in my teeth before. So my friend circle is very, very small, but if you're desperate, just come see Mama Leigh. I probably have a spare protein bar in my bag. But I say that because when you start looking at the schedule, you'll realize you may be doing more running around than you will be doing eating, and you're going to have to give yourself some calories. I don't have to tell you that your engine cannot run without fuel. So let me tell you what's happening on Sunday the 12th. Now, I'm getting there on Saturday the 11th, so I'm ready for everything. Whatever day you're coming in, figure out how to dive in. On Sunday, we do have some leadership for the Residential Real Estate Council, and if you're invited to that, you know, and if you're not invited, don't show up. They won't let you in. And same thing with the Women's Council, and that's Leaders Made Here. What's up, Women's Council? You also have a lot of leadership classes going on, so if you're thinking about getting into leadership, there's some classes you can take that are fantastic yet. And no, Stephanie, we don't know the weather yet, except it's in Anaheim, California, so we can expect it to be low humidity and very mild temperatures. But because Stephanie is asking about the temperature, she's coming from the UP, y'all. The woman should know that California ain't Michigan. You need a jacket. Now, my jacket is what I call the Bob Turner collection from the NAR store, and it's camo. And somebody asked me the other day why I had a camo jacket, and I said, how did you know I had one on? And they didn't get the joke, which made my heart sad. But my realtor's in safety orange. Did you know that the clothing on the realtor store can let you pick the color of your R? That's at store.realtor. But let me give you a really big insider tip here and lean in real close. If you like to buy your realtor gear at a place where you can see it, feel it, and touch it, get the hand of the fabric, Go to the expo the second it opens, because that realtor store, y'all, it will get picked clean. And so you got to get there early. It's kind of like if you tried to buy Halloween candy on Halloween night and you were down to nothing good, like Milk Duds and what are those nasty things? The little gummy things, the Go-Go or JoJo dots, those nasty things. That's all that's left. The Reese cups are gone. You want to get to the realtor store before the Bob Turner collection is sold out. That's at store.realtor. And I reckon you can still get it in time. And if not, then whatever. Oh, look, Troy's got the Delta Airlines discount code. High five, Troy. Look at that. The team is working together right here. Okay. By the way, why else do I have a jacket? Not just because weather is temperamental. Y'all, these meeting rooms are freezing. And why they do that? Because you people will go to sleep otherwise. And so make sure you've got your jacket so that you do not doze off in a meeting, because that's how you wind up chair of things. You doze off and they elect you to chair something terrible like bylaws. But if you're not the person who wants a camo jacket, you're like, Leigh Brown, that's too country. I'm fancier. Okay, City Mouse. You should know that you can always bring a nice scarf, and then you could wear it for a decoration, or you can wrap it around your shoulders like a mama, and that will take the chill off. So bring a scarf, and it will make you look good. And by the way, all my savvy realtor people know this, and all my new people, you should know this. There is a vendor in the expo hall called the Scarf King. And if you ever want to know how to get people to come say hello to you in life, go hang out at the Scarf King's booth, and you will make all kinds of new friends if you have sharp elbows, because you have to move these people out of the way to get scarves. A lot of agents are buying scarves at the Scarf King booth for client gifts and thank yous for referrals, because they're always a bargain, and the man always brings a heck ton of them. But again, you got to get there early, because the Scarf King will run out of the pretty fabrics, and then you'll be buying something ugly. But I guess you could still give it away. I mean, people that receive a gift ought to be nice about it. They ought to have some manners. And so get you a scarf. And by the way, I like the scarf too, because I can tie it on my backpack and have it around. But you're going to have to release the idea of it matching. If you just bring one scarf and it doesn't match what you have on, this does not match my current sweater, I am not going to wear it. But if I'm cold, I'll wear it. So get your scarf and get your Bob Turner collection jacket. Somebody tag Bob and Wendy Turner so that they can shake their heads once again, because Bob, I think he loves that I call that the Bob Turner collection, but he won't admit it. So I'm just pretending he knows that. So speaking of what you should have in your bag, I told y'all about the protein bars and the present. All right, so I'm going to give y'all a tip that came from my friend Keon Aldrich. She is in the line for South Carolina leadership, and she found these little hats for your toiletry, your cosmetics, and they are called Leaf Locks Toiletry Skins, which doesn't mean anything tacky, y'all. It's a silicone skin. And look here, this is my hair oil. And so if you put this little silicone over the top, you can just pull it down. And then look at here. It won't leak out of your bag. And if it leaks, it will stay up in the silicone. So these were a wonderful use of a few Amazon dollars. Highly recommend that you check that out. Keon, thank you for the tip. I have used those a few times, because when you have bottle blonde hair like this, I went dark there. Ooh, I don't want to have my bottle blonde messed up, so I have to carry that blue one with me. And if I put those on the top, then all of my other things won't turn purple in my bag. And so speaking of your toiletries, I want to give y'all a couple that you need to have in your bag. First of all, you need to make sure that your toiletry bag has things that will make your roommate happy. If you have a conference spouse, bring some kind of poopery or room spray. Personally, I like the white tea and sage White Barn from the Bath and Body Works. This will keep your friendships intact. Now, when you have a hotel room, because you're in leadership, I think all of us that are in leadership at some time have somebody to stay with us to help cut their costs, because we're kind of like that. That's how you bring up the next group of leaders, is by sharing your hotel room. But this is what allows you to stay sharing a room for a few days. So make sure you bring some of that. And it's in my little trusty bag here of other things. Like, of course, you got to have some Tylenol, ibuprofen, have your own little pharmacy over here, have some heartburn gas relief. You know, I know that it sounds really tacky, but look, y'all, I've been to these conferences a long time, and those matter. Now, if you've been to conferences a long time, you know that something that's inevitable is you're going to hug people, right? You love to hug. I love to hug. And I like to bring my black blazer because it goes over everything and it doesn't show all the dirt. But what it will show is if I hug some of y'all that have foundation on, and then your face gets stuck on my jacket, kind of like Tammy Faye Baker. Y'all remember Tammy Faye Baker? God rest her soul. That was a real good movie, The Faces of Tammy Faye. It was so good. But, you know, she was from here in the Charlotte area in Fort Mill, South Carolina, where they had the PTL ministries. And if you never did figure that out because you were young in the 80s, PTL was Praise the Lord Ministries. But Tammy Faye was famous for her makeup. And I say this because when I was growing up in the 80s and at the mall, there were kiosks up and down the malls in Charlotte, especially at the Eastland Mall where we used to ice skate. Y'all remember the Eastland Mall? And so there was a kiosk that said, I ran into Tammy Faye at the mall, and it was like 2 big blobs of mascara and 2 blobs of blue for the eyeshadow and a big blob of red. I wish I still had that, but I could never talk my mama into purchasing it because she thought it was ugly. But anyway, when you hug somebody and you get foundation on your shoulder, especially for you gentlemen, and you don't want your wife to think you did anything untoward, bear in mind, we know you weren't pulling any shenanigans. We believe in your purity. So this is how you protect your purity. You need some shaving cream. Look, y'all, I am for real about this. You need the shaving cream. And I don't mean the fancy one, not the gel, not the good for your sensitive skin. I mean the plain old white Barbasol. This one is the Rite Aid version of Barbasol. Just plain white shave cream. I promise you on the Bible, if you get foundation on your jacket, put some Barbasol on it, dry, do not wet it, okay? With me here. You put a little bit of Barbasol on it, get a dry cloth and a few rubs, that foundation will come right up out of there. Look, y'all, this is an investment that is worth you making, and I probably paid $2.99 for this. With inflation, this is probably $14.99 now because I have had the same can for several years because it does not take much to get that out of your jacket. If you know a friend who goes to real estate conferences, even if they don't go to Anaheim, or maybe they're in the Baptist church and they worry about the foundation on their shoulder, share this tip with them. This is the craziest cool thing you'll ever find. And then you can tell me thank you, frankly. You can come hug my neck and say, Leigh Brown, you saved my jacket. And I'll say, it was nothing. Now, also in my little emergency bag here, and by the way, I travel in a lot of Ziploc bags, and I use them for years, and so don't be environmentally fussy at me. I also have a bag of Epsom salts. Y'all know what this is for. My feet get real tired walking around at convention, especially if I've been hanging out on the expo floor. And so you can soak your feet or soak yourself in the tub if you're in a hotel room with a tub. And if you're in a hotel room with a shower, then you'll just carry your Epsom salts back home again. Although a friend of mine, I'm not going to tell you who because that would be too much information. A friend of mine said to put it in the toilet and then stir it up and then stick your feet in the toilet as you sit on the bathroom on the ledge and then flush it away. And I don't condone that because I do not know what Epsom salts might do to the toilet, but if it works, that might be really smart. So if one of y'all tries that, you let me know. I'm not sure that I'm ready for that yet. But speaking of my feet hurting, I will tell you my favorite flats are Rothy's, and Rothys.com. If you didn't know, these are all machine washable, which is one reason I love my Rothys. And they fold up real good and you can't really hurt them. And they're made out of water bottles or something. And then you can take out the insoles and change them out for different colors if you want to decorate your feet. I love these things. And if you're wishing you had these ones, too bad. They don't make this one anymore because they do a lot of limited editions. And I'll just admit in advance, if you like these shoes, you're going to buy a bunch of them. So I'm not responsible, but you may have to sell a house for your Rothy's habit. But you'll also find these are flats you can run through the airport in and your feet won't die. I really like these. And so if you see me running around the convention, you might find out that I have Rothy's on and my heels will be in my bag. And I call that my grown-up shoes. So just so you know. What is this, Elizabeth? Hey, by the way, I tried to send you a thank you note and it went back. So I don't think I had your right address, but thank you for whatever I was thanking you for. On Amazon, you found Epsom salt foot rub in a tube. Oh, I'm going to have to find some of that. And I bet Michelle will find it and plug y'all a link in right here. So those shoes are important. I do wear high heels for certain meetings because I want to look like a grown-up. And I will wear those when I am presenting. And so if you want to come hear a class, I'm teaching a class on Tuesday, the 14th, woo, at 10:30 in the morning. It's about secrets to building your real estate team. And I can't promise that I'll stay on topic. So if you want to know what else Leigh Brown might talk about, you should come because we'll talk about teams, team building, and how you can pivot your business a little bit as real estate may or may not change in the near future. Friends, I'm right there with you. So come hang out with me on Tuesday the 14th at 10:30. And I do believe they're recording it for NAR playback. So if you're not coming to the conference, you might be able to see it, but no promises because if I stray off topic, who knows what they'll do with the recording. Now, when you're thinking about how you're going to get educated, let me go back to our schedule here and give you some tips. So on Sunday, as I mentioned, you have a lot of leadershipy things. You have a few committees. Now, let's just say that you have not been to the convention before and you don't know where you belong. All right, look, when you're looking at the schedule, y'all, some things are going to just have a list of it. If it says closed meeting, you don't get to go unless you're on the committee. So don't try to go to RPOC, but you could find out that you can go to the Smart Growth Advisory Board. If you are not on the committee, you can go and sit in the meeting in the back of the room or on the edges. We call that the gallery. You won't get to speak. You won't get to have your brilliance heard. However, if you're thinking about applying for a committee in the future, or you're trying to figure out where you belong in this giant organization, go bebop around in some of these rooms and hear the topics and figure out where your specific information could be helpful. And I will tell you that that's where I learned what some of our committees are doing just by going in there, checking them out. You'll also find that if you have your CRS, whoop, whoop, or if you are a member of the Residential Real Estate Council, our opening reception is on Sunday evening. And so make sure that you go to that and get your cocktail. And speaking of cocktails, this is the other big secret y'all need, because I know how you are. Where did it go? Oh, law, I have too many things laid out here for your edification. Where'd it go? I set it down. So hang on a minute. I'm going off camera and I'm going to talk while I do, because this is so very important. Some of y'all, when your preacher doesn't know where you are, sometimes your preacher tells you that you should not imbibe, and some of y'all forget your religion when you're at real estate conferences, but you shouldn't. So, but if you do, activated charcoal, you need this. This is so valuable. If you take one of these in the morning, it will help with the effects of alcohol in your system. And if you're not 23 anymore, which is all of y'all, then you need this to help you feel better the next day. Because if you get stupid at night, it's hard for you to be productive the next day. So first of all, don't be stupid. Second of all, have a friend that says, time to go to bed. Have a friend that will pull you away. But take one of these before you go to the receptions, and that will help your body behave better. Okay, so that is called activated charcoal. I use the Nature's Bounty brand, probably because I researched it. I don't like GMO things. I don't like big food. I don't like big pharma. That's why you're going to find me with herbs and medicines. I know I'm a conservative hippie, go figure. So anyway, get some activated charcoal in your bag. But if you do get a headache, I will know, this is my North Carolina people know this. So I don't know about the rest of y'all from around the country and the world. You might not know the magic of Goody's headache powders. And I will tell you, these are from North Carolina. And if you ever watch NASCAR, remember they used to sponsor the King, Richard Petty, who was from up around Asheboro. So make sure that you get some Goody's headache powder. These things taste terrible. In the words of Charles Barkley, they will fix your headache right quick, way faster than ibuprofen or Tylenol, and frankly better on your stomach. So get you some Goody's headache powders to have in your bag. And while I'm doing my pharmaceuticals, some of y'all are going to have a sore throat because you talk too much. I'm not talking to anybody in specific, but all y'all will go to a reception. Sometimes you talk too loud or just talk too much. You need these. These are called Fisherman's Friends. These are the best mints. And in the speaker world, the educator world, we call these the speaker's friend. Because if your voice is gone for whatever reason, and I don't really know what's in it, I'm not looking because I don't like big pharma, you know. But if you take one of these, your voice will come back. When you look up Fisherman's Friends online, you should know this. Only buy the mint flavor. I have tried every flavor, y'all. They're all nasty except for mint, but especially the original. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you buy the original, I am not responsible, because that stuff is the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth. Although a friend of mine has a cold right now and she's trying to get better before convention. So I did tell her about the lava apple cider vinegar stuff with some other herbs and spices in it. It will kill a cold and flu, but it tastes like you're drinking dirty socks. But, you know, I'm all for it. But speaking of that sore throat, some of y'all like the old-fashioned way to take care of a sore throat. So you might want to bring your Bushmills, your Irish whiskey. This one has the honey in it. Put it in some hot tea in your room, because the hotels will have some little tea and you get some hot water. And this also might be important to have in your bag for the board of directors meeting, although I'm not going to look around to see who has an airplane bottle, but I've heard it's going to be quite the entertaining time to be together as a deliberative body. So make sure that you're prepared for that. I'm just kidding, serious people out there, lighten up. But if you're checking a bag, you can check these, but you cannot put these in your carry-on bag because they count as personal alcohol. If y'all notice that they have on the announcements, don't be drinking your personal alcohol, this is what they're talking about. So put this in your check bag only. And that is just the advice of a friend, okay? But if you are the person who needs to be more circumspect, I mean, a flask is not a bad idea. I'm borrowing this because it says Bigfoot hide and seek champion. And for those of y'all that want to know something about North Carolina, did you know that we have the Bigfoot Festival right here in North Carolina up in McDowell County. That is right. We have Bigfoot here, and he's so valuable. You can come to the festival and find the people who are looking for him. So come visit us in North Carolina, and somebody tag Visit NC here, because I'm sure that Visit NC would love to talk about a flask held by the president of the North Carolina Realtors as I pack for a Realtors conference. Oh, wow. All right, so speaking of things that we should be doing at conference, let's go back to our schedule here and look at Monday the 13th. On Monday the 13th, there is a breakfast for the Realtors Relief Foundation. And if you're not aware, the Realtors Relief Foundation is the best part of being a realtor, and y'all aren't even talking about it. We really should be talking about it right now while the media is talking smack about us, because I don't think that this ugly, rude plaintiff's lawyer in the class action suit has given $42 million to neighbors in need after natural disaster like the realtors have. Just saying. And if you make a donation, all of those dollars go right back to families in need. We have helped over 22,000 families. So the plaintiff's lawyers in this class action lawsuit better take a chunk of their earnings, and, or not earnings, their takings, and put it back. But anyway, there will be a breakfast for Realtor Relief, and at any time you can visit the expo and make a gift. And just spoiler alert, y'all, if y'all would talk about that on your social media once in a while, it would be great for the PR for the realtors if we talk about Realtor Relief. And then we can, oh, Michelle, we don't need their website. We need to put their little ad in there, so they're forced to look at this. And that will be very good for us. And then we will be able to get a hold of them. But Realtor Relief, go make a gift in the expo. You get to put your name on the little wall. You can tell your public that you are looking out for them and you are doing things to help communities in need, because that's who realtors are. Y'all, we've got to take our message back. Realtor Relief is a great way to do it. So you can't go to the breakfast because it's sold out, but you can come stand outside the room. And then we have, let's see, we have some other meetings here. There's some invitation only. There's some closed meetings. There's some education directors. Hey, staff. Hey, what's up? Take care of your local staff, and especially because their dues billing is out and they're going to need your love and support right now. If you want to go to a cool committee, though, Data Strategies meets on Monday. It's really fascinating to hear what they're working on. And let's see, there's some education provided by the Women's Council. I see Jamie Novak is teaching the class, bringing calm to chaos. Good luck with that, my friend. The insurance committee, holy smokes, y'all. You want to go to something that's crazy good, go to the insurance committee. And I know that it sounds crazy to think that's an exciting committee to go to, but right now we're watching insurance get yanked from so many different states and from all different places. Our clients are really going to have a hard time in the future if we don't fill that gap right quick. So go find out what's happening in insurance committee. That is on Monday the 13th at 10. Again, if you're not on the committee, sit at the edges and take your little notes and learn. And if you want to play in there, make sure that you are the person who raises your hand next year when our application process opens in March. Let's see, some more education and some more committees. Oh, if you are investing, property management, make sure that you go to the Single Family Investment Management Committee. That is a new committee that cropped up in the last couple of years. You should always know that the National Association of Realtors, being so big, is always looking for ways to serve members. And so sometimes there's a gap and we've got to fill it. And so that one arose to fill the gap for investment in property management. Okay. What else we got that's really exciting? I get to go to the State Leadership Idea Exchange Council because North Carolina is a large state, and I get to go learn from others and bring it back to my state. And let's see, the FPCs, that is the Federal Political Coordinators. That is for the FPCs, but you'll always have some extra people in the gallery there. They talk to our congressional and our Senate representatives in Washington, D.C. And let's see, oh, business issues policy. That's going to be a great one this year because we're all trying to figure out what the real estate business is going to look like. That's at 1:30. You can sit in the edge there. And let's see, land use, property rights, environment. My land brokers will go in there because we have wars coming over water. Y'all know that's happening. And let's see, the gala is Monday evening. That's when we will install Tracy Casper as president officially. And everybody gets to dress up. And so when you see the inaugural gala, you have to have a ticket, but make sure that you have an appropriate dressy dress. I'm going to wear some basic sparkles this year because I'm pretty sure I will have been placed at a table in the very back of the room for all the reasons. So I'll probably be near the bathroom again and near the bar. So I actually realized that when I get put at the back table, there's a benefit to that. I can get out of the room, I can get to the bar, I can get to the bathroom. Win, win, win. So make sure that you've got your sparkly dress. Gentlemen, if you want to wear one, that's fine, but you'll be cold like us. So if you're going to wear your sparkles, make sure that you have your scarf or jacket because it'll be freezing in there. And that's also a great time to see everybody. Now, it is a sold out event. So make sure that if you want a ticket, you watch the Facebooks and watch the app, because I guarantee you somebody out there will be selling their ticket before it's over. And unlike Ticketmaster, there are not huge fees when you go to resell a gala ticket. So make sure you check that out. There's also the international realtors have their welcome reception right before that. And then let's look at Tuesday, the 14th. Oh, look, 10:30 a.m. Come hang out with Leigh Brown. Hey, that's what you're going to teach. Come learn my class. You're going to miss out on, let's see, new agent survival secrets. Michael Lee is teaching that, but he's being recorded. And there's a session by Hope Atuel about serving Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander segments. She's being recorded too. So you can just come to my class since those are being recorded, and we'll have a great time. But the sad part is I'm actually up against Residential Economic Trends Forum, which is Dr. Lawrence Yoon. I'm fully aware that I'm going to lose to the rock star of the realtors, which is Dr. Yoon. Fine. But my session is being recorded. So, but if you don't want to go hear Dr. Yoon, come hear me. But if you don't come hear me, go see Dr. Yoon. All right, let's scooch-a-loo. We've got so many committees happening on that day, like so many of them. And, oh, there's a good one. Oh, so down in the new setup, pay attention, y'all. There's this new thing called Access, which is the registration table. And that's going to be where there's some little micro sessions that are 20 minutes long. One of them is going to be John Mayfield, and we love John. He's past president of Missouri Realtors, and he's been educating forever. He's doing 20 team meeting ideas in 20 minutes. And so I'm going to have to make sure somebody goes and gets me notes. Hello, because that's happening while I'm teaching my class. Literally, y'all, there's so many classes, you can't attend it all. It's another reason to have a friend. Never, ever sit with your friend. This is a big, important thing for you to know. When you go to a real estate conference, do not sit with your friends. Do you hear me on this? Do not sit with your friends. Do not go to classes with your friends. If you really want to make the most out of this convention or any other convention you go to, of death. Okay. I'm going to start that over again. When you go to a real estate conference, do not sit with your friends. Here's why. You already know each other. You're probably going to do this during the class, and then you won't even be able to gather the information. Split it up. Go everywhere different. Take notes. And then as you're eating supper together that night, compare notes. And then you will actually quadruple your conference experience, because you will be able to gather notes from all over, and you'll be able to build your referral network, which is one of the reasons we go to these things. I always love meeting agents from New Jersey and New York. You know why? Because they moved to North Carolina. I like to call them economic refugees. Well, I want to know the agents who are sending their people to the South, because as we like to say here in North Carolina, the moving trucks come down full and go back empty. So I want to meet those agents. And so if you're from New York or New Jersey, you should come hunt for me, because we might be able to do some business together. It's an extra credit if I don't know you. Now, that's important as well. So let me scoot through the Tuesday schedule, get down here to the good part in the evening, because as y'all know, that's when you need your activated charcoal, because we do a lot of receptioning in the evenings. Oh, there's a good one, how to get your buyer representation agreement signed. Some of y'all are a little bit chicken about that, and you need to stop being chicken about it. So let's move down through here and see, we've got, oh, Realtor Town Square down in the expo hall is going on. Lots of networking sessions where you can go learn and say hey to people at the same time. If you know somebody who has overcome their own issues with addiction, you'll see Friends of Bill W. and Dr. Bob. And those are for people who are AA or know somebody in AA. So there's a great opportunity to provide support. Not everybody needs the activated charcoal. Some of y'all have your tokens, and so support each other in there. And then towards that evening, you have the YPN reception, which is definitely ticketed only. Again, buy your ticket on the black market. You will see that the CRS installation event is going on. So I'll make sure and pop in there to support the incoming president, Trisha Nakota from Hawaii. And also North Carolina's own Theresa Pitt being installed as first vice president. Whoop, whoop. And I'm a past president, so I can go sit in the corner in the ash bin. And then we have the Women's Council is having a reception and an installation for the one and only Carrie Hartnett. That's going to be amazing. And you want to be dressed up for that too. So you can wear the same thing you wore to the NAR gala, because I'm going to tell y'all another secret, so lean in real close. Nobody will remember if you wore the same dress twice at this event. I can promise you that. The only time they'll figure it out is when they're uploading their selfies later and say, wait a minute, which event was this at? But if you want to feel fancy, go to Marshall's and get a second dress. Although actually, I should tell y'all my favorite discount dress outlet. You want to listen? I don't do Rent the Runway. I think it's too high. But what you should know, y'all know Zappos.com where you can buy shoes for too much, but they come to you right away. Zappos has an outlet. Did y'all know that? The Zappos outlet is 6pm.com. That's 6pm.com. Look, I get some good deals on there, but the return policy is not super great, so you should kind of know your size. Like, I know what size I wear in Calvin Klein. That's why I buy Calvin Klein, and White House Black Market is my kryptonite. But anyway, 6pm.com is so good for discount dresses, and you don't have to pay full price. Okay, so anyway, that's the Women's Council installation, and you'll need a ticket for that. Now, in between all of these receptions and classes and stuff, you got to get your stress out, right? Because it's stressful because you're running around. Well, if you want to really run around, you should know that some of us actually will run. I run every day. It's how I am safer for you because I am very mean if I don't run. Ask my husband about that. And so I have my running shoes, I have all my running clothes, and I have my running light. And actually, this is my new favorite running light. Avanto is the brand on Amazon. And it doesn't last too long because it's cheap crap from Amazon, but I hadn't found a better brand. I like it because the light is adjustable and it's got 3 levels. There's bright, not quite so bright, and flashing. So I love this. Plus it's got a rear view mirror on it so people can see my tail lights. This is important. I will wear it while we are running together so I can keep most of us safe. But if we're a large group, I can't keep you all safe. So if you're at the edges over in the dark, we might just have to sacrifice you because, as you know, it's not about being the fastest runner. The only rule is don't be the slowest one. Anyway, you should know that we have a bunch of us will go out, run and walk in the mornings very, very early before the breakfast and things start. You can follow us on our Facebook page, Realtor Runners and Walkers, and we will be posting what time and where the meeting place is. We don't give a heck ton of details just because we want to keep everyone safe, but we get a starting point together. Now, you might be a super slow walker. You'll have a friend. And if you're a much faster runner than I, you'll have a friend. And if you're medium like me, you have a friend. We don't care what your pace is. This is just for anybody that wants to be active prior to our meetings. And it's really important, y'all. And frankly, I'm not going to lie to you. That's my favorite network. And my favorite realtor friends are the ones that I have spent time with out running and walking because we can have real good, honest conversations. Okay, so there's your running instructions. Go follow the Facebook page. I did find out yesterday from my friend Gracie that it's kind of hidden now because you know how the algorithms work. So go hunt for it and like a post or something. I think I got all the scammers off of there. All right, so let's go back to our schedule here. We got through Tuesday. Wednesday the 15th, Carrie, who will be just a brand new Women's Council president, she is leading some morning yoga for those of y'all that are bendy. And then there is another meeting with friends of Bill W. and Dr. Bob. And then we've got education. The Good Neighbors booth is open. You can take the implicit bias classes. There's a general session with the fighter pilot. That's Nicole Malachowski. And I know Mindy Kaling is on here somewhere, but I can't remember where. So look for that. That should be highly entertaining. We probably do need some popcorn for the board of directors meeting, Wendy. Just saying, somebody could make that an RPAC fundraiser. It would be great. And let's see what else we have in here. Oh, Commercial Economic Issues and Trends Forum is on Wednesday at 10:30. Now, what if you're not a realtor who does commercial? You should go anyway because, as we know, the commercial trends impact residential trends and vice versa. So go get yourself a little bit smarter than when you showed up at the convention. Let's see what else we have. Oh, Barb Betts is doing a class on recruiting agents at 10:30 on Wednesday. And if you don't follow Barb Betts, I don't know where you've been. She's happy and delightful. We have the government affairs directors are meeting. MLS issues and policies. That one's going to be wall-to-wall people. That's Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Fully expect that room to have people pouring out into the hallway as we figure out how to make sure the multiple listing service is structured for the future. So again, if you're not on the committee, you're going to be the one shoved out the door. So get there early and of the room. Now let's see how to write inclusive and impactful content. Gracious, we got WCR, Women's Council doing some things. Oh, my friend Burton Kelso is teaching a class on protecting your social media from hackers. That's really important. There are so many classes. I'm sitting here kind of overwhelmed already because I want to attend everything and it's just not possible. Let's see, Going Green Technology. There's some book signings, working with special needs clients, Women's Council. Oh, there's Karen Carr. I love her so much. So if you don't know Karen Carr, she teaches YouTube for realtors. I've taken her class and I've not implemented everything. Spoiler alert. Karen will be at 2:30 on the 15th, which is Wednesday. There's Burton again. He's teaching a couple classes. There's my girl, Christina Asbury from right here in North Carolina. Christina is amazing. And she's teaching a Land 101 class for those of you that want to learn more about selling land. And spoiler alert, if you're a residential realtor trying to sell land, you should go take this class because you might be operating out of your scope of expertise. That's at 3 o'clock on the 15th. And what else do we have here? Oh, Major Investor Evening. So you see my Major Investor pin right here? That's your ticket to Major Investor Evening, and we might check the year. So some of y'all need to quit being lapsed and get it renewed. That will be at Knott's Berry Farm. We've taken over the whole park, so make sure that you come out to network at that. That is on Wednesday the 15th. It's the same time as the International Night Out, which is a ticketed event, so you can go whichever one you want to go to. There's also a realtor reception for the commercials. Thursday the 16th, we have more yoga. We have the Realtor Relief Foundation. There's some cultural differences and etiquette for global. I mean, y'all, literally, there's something of everything. Then we have some mini bar camp. That's a ticketed event. Check and see if you have a ticket for that. Oh, 10:30 a.m. using NAR data. That's a really good class because you're already paying for that in your dues. So you should learn how to use your data in a better way. That's on Thursday. Tons of networking, tons of education. Scooch, scooch, scooch. And then on Wednesday evening, we have listed, probably that's our receptions. Oh, that's our caucuses. So your caucus, if you are new, let me tell you what that is. Each of our states is in a caucus. I'm in region 4, which is North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Kentucky. And each one of y'all has a caucus. This is anybody at the convention who is from those states. And then you can hear about what's happening in all the different committee meetings in a good condensed way. And more importantly, network with people that are in your geographical area. And also, you'll be able to figure out what's coming forward to the board of directors. So you'll get some inside information and be prepared to go to the business. And if you're not on the board, you still go. If you're not on a committee, still come to the caucus. This is where you can meet the people in your region that are already connected, and they will help you get further connected. So don't think this is anything special. It's just a geographical thing. And after those, you will see it is nonstop receptioning. Many of the states and the regions do their own receptions. And so you can bebop around and make some friends. And then Friday the 17th is the board of directors meeting. You'll check in your luggage first because you got to be out of your hotel. And then the meeting will last until 12 o'clock. The delegate body meets after that. The delegate body is where the votes come in from the local associations. And so your local association should have somebody who has the delegate body votes for that. So make sure that you ask your local president about that, who is going to be there on behalf of your local association. And those pieces of information will be posted, and you'll see some of these agenda items get posted. You got to pay attention to it, though. All right, so now back to packing tips, because I've rambled, lost some viewers here. You got to tag them back in. Let me show you how to get your, oh, by the way, I told you that's on the app, right? So download the app. I'm going to show you how to make your luggage, your clothes all fit in a spot. All right, so this is a technique for packing called bundling. Bundling is what I have found to be the most efficient way to pack. Rolling it is good, but this is better. And I want to show you how to get your clothes in. So you have a blazer, which goes over lots of things. You have some pants, probably. I mean, I hope. And then if you've seen me wear these are my favorite yoga pants that pretend to be blue jeans. They're amazing. They're by Ink and Burn out of San Francisco. I've got my Realtor Blue. So if you want to know why we talk about Realtor Blue, this is Realtor Blue. And then we have commercial red. And realtors wear red on Fridays. And so you may see a lot of red at the board of directors meeting. And that's because realtors wear red on Friday to take care of those that are deployed and their family members. Of course, I got my sparkly clothes. I've got my Rothy's. And I've got another dress here is where I'm going to start with my base. Okay, so let me move all this stuff out of the way. And actually, I'm going to use my Bob Turner collection as a placeholder for unmentionables. And Wendy, I don't mean that in any way at all, except that it's the right size. All right, so to bundle, you lay one dress out here. Gentlemen, that could be a pair of pants too. You lay the other dress out this way. All right, so this could be any 2 long items. It could be 2 pairs of pants. It could be 2 dresses. But what you want is the tops are opposite each other with some of it meeting in the middle. And then we're going to take another one. We'll run it out this way, and we're going to run another one out this way. By the way, this also helps reduce wrinkling. So we got all 4 of them are matched up there in the middle. We'll do some pants here. We'll do some pants this way. And then I've got my suit jacket, which you know about this probably, but hold your shoulder pads together and lift up the collar. Don't leave it folded, and put this away. So you can do as many pieces as you want. And then in the middle here, where everything meets up, the Venn diagram, is where your unmentionables go. So that would be your undergarments. I like Honey Love, by the way, is the one I use to take care of my bay window here, but it's not in this pile. And so then after you get all your clothes laid out crisscross, right? So we've got them going all 4 ways. We're going to start rolling it in. So you pull up this pair of pants and pull in this pair of pants. And they just go right across, okay? So it's nothing fancy. And then we take this dress and pull it across, and take this dress and pull it across. And then we're going to pull this one up here, and we're going to pull this dress up here, and then you tuck in your edges. And what happens, y'all, is that's approximately 5 days worth of clothes right here, and it makes this little bundle, which literally fits in your carry-on bag. So the only reason I take a big bag is because A, I'm going to bring back a lot of realtor swag from the expo. I will literally go get every koozie and ink pen I can get to hold of, but also I could pack it, but I need more shoes. So I'm going to have some dress-up shoes. Oh, my dress-up shoes. I forgot about those. Okay, hang on a second. Look, I forgot some things because I was running back to my computer to do this video for y'all because we had a meeting with representatives earlier. Okay, I found out about these shoes at NAR at the mid-year convention 2 years ago. Was that last year, when European heels? And I laughed at it because it said they were 12-hour heels. And my girlfriend, Dee Dee Miller, promised it was true. And y'all, she let me try her shoes on in the lobby at the hotel, which is proof that she's a good friend and maybe has terrible judgment. But anyway, they're on a cork platform, and I literally can wear these. I've worn them as long as 8 hours. I have not tried 12 yet. But I can tromp around in these much longer than regular heels. So I will have my sparkly ones for the gala events, and then I'll have some regular shoes. But I've got a discount code for those that I think Michelle's going to drop for you. And then I have my Rothy's. And so because I have shoes, I don't do a carry-on. But look, you see how efficient that is? It is so efficient, and your things don't wrinkle that bad. So I'll give you a couple other tips for your convention success. You know, this is my favorite backpack. It's this OGO with the Realtor R on it, which is available in the Realtor store. And I'm still kind of amazed. I looked it up on the Amazon, and it's cheaper with the R on it than it was straight from Amazon for, you know, lots of reasons. But anyway, a couple of tips in my bag here. I have extra reading glasses because I am medium aged. So just so you know, I will have spare reading glasses if you need some. I have business cards in here. I do not believe in putting out 500 business cards at an event because I think that's stupid. You are never going to meet 500 people and remember them. Y'all, here is a good conference tip for you. 5 business cards. I want you to build 5 new relationships. 5 people that you have enough of a conversation with that you recall their name and where they are from. That's where your conference experience will get really gigantic. I gotta fix this camera. Will get really gigantically awesome is if you think about building specific relationships. I mentioned before, I like New York and New Jersey people because there is a pipeline going to the Charlotte market from there. It's not that I don't want to meet you if you are from Cincinnati or Kentucky. I love y'all. But the best traffic for me comes up there from Region 2. And so I'm going to be looking for those folks so I can get to know them and they can get to know me. And that's why I will have some business cards with me. Now, if you ask me for one, I will give it because I'm very nice. And I don't do the electronic ones for you millennial types. Y'all are cute. But no, I need paper because then I'm going to write on the back of it. Now, I've also got in this bag a Sharpie because you never know when you're going to need a Sharpie. And plus, it's got to be the only name brand because they smell right. I don't know why the off brand doesn't smell right. And then I have my favorite candy, which is Necco wafers. Because y'all know, actually, my real favorite candy is 100 gram, but they only sell at Halloween. I've already cleaned them out. So now I'm down to Necco wafers again. And I have, you know, some lady things in here. If you're having an emergency, I got your back. And I always have leftover realtor swag in here, like the business card sticker to go on your phone to hold your cards. There's lots of fun things you can do. Most importantly in my bag, I have my technology bag. And as a speaker, I find this to be super important. I have a spare battery, but I also have a spare cord because you might need juice when I don't. And I will share because I'm nice. And I will also have some trail mix in my technology bag, apparently, because I keep trail mix around. But I've got all the cords and all the connectors in here because I never know when I'm going to have to present. I was at CRS a few years ago, and one of the presenters did not show up, and so I had my laptop and my dongles, and I jumped up and let the audience pick the class, and so we carried right on. And also, I will show you, my good friend Tony Smith has a farm where he grows wonderful plants, and he makes his own CBD, and so this is roll-on, and it really is great if you've got a bad muscle, and I'm a middle-aged runner, so I use this roll-on all the time. And I even loaned it to somebody. Oh, it was Mike Brody. His back was out. And I didn't put it on him. That'd be tacky. I handed it to him, and he put some on because that's how we look after each other. And, oh, also in here, I got to give y'all one more tip. Look, I've got tips for days. So this is my other emergency bag here. And, of course, I have a spare hairspray. Duh. I don't care about the ozone layer anymore. But yeah, they told us that in the 80s, by the way. We were told as young people trying to keep a claw on the front of our heads that our Aquanet was destroying the ozone layer. And they lied to us, y'all, because the ozone has healed. And I actually use more hairspray now than I did when I had the claw. But it's not Aquanet, and I wish they still made it in the way that I wish they did. Have a nail file, got some deodorant, some toothpaste, a toothbrush. And most importantly, in this little trusty satchel is the athletic tape that Heather Ozier showed me all these years ago, which is basic athletic tape. So, I mean, like the $1.99 stuff, which, again, with inflation, I don't know what it costs now. But if you pull off a wee tiny bit of this, y'all, let's just say that you were dancing the night away at the International Realtors reception and you pulled a blister. You put this on top of the blister and it won't hurt anymore. It will stop the friction. Now, why is this better than Band-Aids? Well, first of all, it's cheaper. And second of all, it doesn't have characters on it. And some of y'all need to step away from the Angry Birds Band-Aids. But also because it doesn't pull up at the edges and get that little gross black stuff on the edges of the Band-Aid like Band-Aids will do. This just stays on your leg and pulls off and doesn't take the little hairs with it when you pull it off. So it's very important to have that. And what else is in here? Oh, some hand lotion. Look, my friend Tacola today had real dry hands, and we had to take care of her hands because if you're going to shake hands all the time, you want to make sure they are nice and cared for. And that's just my little emergency bag. I probably will have to be somebody's mom. Honestly, y'all, at every convention at this point, somebody walks up to me and says, "Hey, Leigh Brown, do you have X, Y, or Z?" And I open up my bag and I will help y'all out as long as you hug my neck in return. And I think that is all of the things I wanted to show you today. So most importantly, I will tell you this. Business casual is the way to go. I am not a fan of the people who want to dress all the way down. If you want to know why I'm so fussy about that, look at the way realtors are being talked about right now online. They are not saying a lot of kind things about our professionalism. Well, one of the first ways that our professionalism can be improved is with our first impressions and the way we present ourselves. So just ask yourself if you are presenting yourself in such a way that you can walk into the door of someone's home and be commiserated in a way that reflects your knowledge and competence and professionalism. And that's why I think at our conventions, we could take it up a slight notch to a level of business casual, which you can be casual and comfortable without showing all your business. Now, let's see if anybody had any questions I didn't answer. Does anybody have a question about what to do or where to go? Let's see. I think I've responded to most of what's over here because y'all are just kind of staring at this. So anyway, I can't wait to see you in Anaheim. Come hug my neck. I cannot wait to see my realtor family. I'm very excited for what we get to do together because when you start seeing all of the negative talk about realtors, there's a lot of missing conversation, and that's all the good work that we do. So again, just look at Realtor Relief Foundation, make that part of your messaging. I want you to go visit some of these important policy classes and find out what we're doing for policy so you can bring that message back to your markets. I love being able to come home to Cabarrus County, North Carolina, and talk about what's happening here. And I love being able to call my state legislators and say, hey, this is happening in another state. Can we work on that here? Because there are so many pieces of information that we can bring forward for the good of everybody. I will see you in Anaheim. If you need anything, you know where to find me. And until then, bye.